The door to Conference Chamber 7 opened without warning. Malik didn't look up from his datapad. He'd learned in his 3 years aboard the Celestial Harmony that sudden interruptions meant nothing good, and nothing good meant keep your head down and finish your inventory report. The hum of the station's ventilation system continued its steady rhythm. His fingers moved across the screen, logging the latest shipment of medical supplies. Footsteps.
Light.
Fast. Wrong. Malik's eyes flicked toward the sound. A child stood 5 meters away, pressed against the curved wall of the conference chamber, no taller than Malik's hip. Pale blue skin, silver markings along the temples, eyes too large and too dark. Royal vestments, unmistakable even to a human cargo specialist who avoided politics like radiation leaks. The child stared at him. Malik stared back. "You are human," the child whispered. "Yes, they say humans are dangerous." "Some are." "Are you dangerous?" "Depends on the day." Malik kept his voice level. "Who's looking for you?" The child's eyes widened. "How did you—" "'Cause you're hiding. And royalty doesn't hide unless something's very wrong." Malik glanced at the door. Still closed. No alarms.
No guards. Yet. "What's your name?"
"Prince Verum of the Colossi Federation." Of course it was. Malik ran through the mental catalog he maintained for survival. Colossi. Four-armed species. Militant honor culture. Currently in tense negotiations with the Pyrantine Empire over border territories. The conference was scheduled for today. This chamber. "You're in the wrong place, Your Highness. I know exactly where I am." Verum moved closer. "I need to not be found for 17 minutes. Why 17? Because in 17 minutes the conference begins and my mother will be here and I will be trapped with her and the Pyrantine delegation for 4 hours." Verum's voice shook. "And I cannot do that." Malik studied the prince's face. Fear. Not the tantrum kind. The survival kind. "What happens in 4 hours?" "They will announce my betrothal to Princess Retha of Pyrantis. I am 8 cycles old." Verum's hands trembled. "I have not been asked. I have not been told." I heard the servant speaking. Malik's jaw tightened. He'd seen many things in 3 years of station work. Treaties signed in blood. Species who ate their political enemies. Cultures that sacrificed children to volcanoes. He'd learned to stay neutral. Stay quiet. Stay employed. He looked at the child in front of him. 17 minutes won't change anything, I know. Verum's voice cracked. But I need 17 minutes where I am not a treaty term, where I am not a bargaining piece, where I am just Verum. The door chimed. Not opened. Chimed. Someone was requesting entry. Protocol. Which meant authority. Which meant this was about to become Malik's problem whether he wanted it or not. "Behind me," Malik said quietly. "What?" "Now." Malik positioned himself between the prince and the door, datapad still in hand. Casual. Bored. The door slid open. A Colossi guard stepped through, 2 meters tall. 4 arms, 2 holding ceremonial blades, 2 hanging loose, eyes that scanned the room with mechanical precision. Human. You have seen a child. Not a question. A statement. Malik met the guard's gaze. "I've been doing inventory for 2 hours. See nothing but supply crates," the guard's secondary arms tensed. "You lie. I keep records." Malik held up the datapad. Every crate logged. Every seal checked. Every minute accounted for. If someone came through here, they're not in my report because they're not my job. Your job is to answer when questioned. My job is cargo management. I manage cargo, not princes. The words hung in the air. Dangerous words. Words that could end a career. Or a life. The guard stepped closer. "You will move aside. I'm in the middle of protocol verification. Section 7 regulations require move. Aside." Malik didn't move. Behind him he felt Verum press closer to his back. Small. Shaking. Terrified. The guard's blade rose. The door chimed again. The guard froze. Turned. The door opened fully. A Colossi woman entered. Taller than the guard. Wearing robes that marked her as high nobility. Crown pressed into her silver hair. 4 arms adorned with rings of office. Queen Teresa of the Colossi Federation. Her eyes locked onto Malik. Then shifted. Down. To where a small hand gripped the back of Malik's uniform jacket. The guard bowed. "Your Majesty, I was just..." "Leave." But your majesty, the prince... Us. The guard left. The door closed. Silence filled the chamber. Malik didn't move. Varum didn't move. The queen stepped forward, and Malik saw what he'd missed before. Exhaustion in her eyes. Deep, bone deep. You are the human cargo specialist, she said quietly. Malik Chen. Yes, your majesty. You know who stands behind you. Yes, your majesty. And you did not yield him to my guard. Malik met her eyes. No, your majesty. Do you understand what you have done? I stood my ground during an inventory check, standard protocol. You interfered with royal security. I protected cargo interests. Malik's voice remained level. This chamber contains sensitive medical equipment. Section 7 regulations prohibit armed personnel during verification periods unless authorized by the station commander. Those regulations exist for cargo, not princes. The regulations don't specify. The queen's expression didn't change. She studied him for a long moment. Then her gaze shifted to Varum. Come here, my son. Varum didn't move. Varum. Mother, I cannot... I said come here. Malik felt Varum's hand tighten on his jacket, felt the child's breath quicken, felt the decision forming in that small body behind him. Your Majesty, Malik said carefully, he asked for 17 minutes. He is a prince. He does not ask. He commands, he asked me, politely. And you, a human cargo worker, believe you have the authority to grant that request? No, Your Majesty. Malik paused. But I have the authority to manage my inventory check, which takes exactly 17 minutes. The Queen's eyes narrowed. You play a dangerous game, human. I do my job, Your Majesty. Your job is not to harbor fleeing princes. My job is cargo management. I manage what's in front of me. My son is not cargo. He's a child who asked for 17 minutes. The silence that followed felt like vacuum exposure. Cold, airless, deadly. Then the Queen did something Malik didn't expect. She stepped back, moved to the conference table, sat. Very well, human. You have 17 minutes to complete your inventory check. Her voice carried weight, command. But underneath, something else. Something that sounded almost like relief. I will wait here, for protocol purposes. Malik nodded once. Thank you, Your Majesty. He turned slightly, looked down at Varum. The prince stared up at him, eyes wide with confusion and something else, something that looked like hope. You heard, Her Majesty, Malik said quietly. 17 minutes. What do you want to do with them? Varum's voice came out small. I do not know. Then let's figure it out together. Malik pulled over a supply crate.
Oh.
Sat. Tell me about Colossi games. What did you play when you were younger? I am young now. Younger than now. Varum hesitated, glanced at his mother. She sat perfectly still, looking at her hands, not watching, but listening. We play corner chase, with 4 players, each trying to reach the other's corners first. Sounds like it requires strategy, much strategy, and speed, and thinking ahead. Were you good at it? Very good. The best in the Royal Children's Quarter. Then you're smart. Strategic. Fast thinking. Malik leaned forward. Those are good traits. My mother says they are useless traits for treaty marriages. The words fell like stones. The Queen's shoulders tensed. Barely visible. But there. Malik kept his eyes on Varim. Your mother is smart too. Maybe she says things she doesn't mean when she's doing her job. Jobs make people say hard things. You do not say hard things. I just told a royal guard to leave and argued with a queen. Those were pretty hard things. But you did it quietly, with respect. Respect matters, even when you disagree. Malik glanced at his chrono. 14 minutes left. Tell me more about corner chase. How do you win? Varum began to explain. Slowly at first, then faster. His hands moved, illustrating positions and strategies. His voice gained confidence, became animated, became young. Malik listened, asked questions, treated each answer like it mattered. Because right now it did. Behind them, Queen Teresa sat motionless. Her eyes remained fixed on her hands, but her breathing had changed. Slower. 10 minutes passed, then 12.
The door chimed. This time, everyone in the room froze.
The door opened. 3 Colossi advisors entered. Elder nobles. Behind them, 4 guards. Behind them, a delegation of Pyrantines. Tall, angular, silver-skinned. Their leader wore the marks of imperial authority, Chancellor Vex of the Pyrantan Empire. His eyes swept the room, landed on the Queen, then on Verum, then on Malik. Your Majesty, the conference begins in 3 minutes. Protocol requires the prince's presence. Queen Teresa stood. Slowly, her forearms moved with careful precision. Chancellor, I was not aware the treaty required my son's attendance. All parties involved must be present. Your son is the cornerstone of our agreement. The cornerstone. Not a participant, not a signatory, a cornerstone. A figure of speech, Your Majesty? No, Chancellor. It is an accurate description. The Queen's voice carried ice. You view my son as a foundation stone. Something to build upon, something to lock into place. Vex's expression hardened. The treaty has been months in negotiation. Both our peoples require this alliance. Border conflicts threaten millions of lives. Your son's marriage to Princess Retha ensures peace for generations. My son is 8 cycles old. Princess Retha will wait until he reaches maturity. 17 cycles. Standard practice. Standard practice. The Queen took a step forward. 9 years of knowing his future is decided. 9 years of being a treaty term. 9 years of having no choice. Your Majesty, surely you understand the necessity. I understand that I have spent 30 years making impossible choices for my people. I understand that I married for alliance, bore children for alliance, watched my father die in border conflicts that this treaty will prevent. Her voice dropped. I understand necessity, Chancellor. But I also understand that my son just spent 17 minutes being himself, being young, being free, and I will not take that from him without cause. The treaty is cause. Then renegotiate the treaty. The room erupted. Advisors spoke over each other. Pyrantines protested. Guards tensed. Voices rose in 4 languages. Malik stood slowly. Verum pressed against his side. Your Majesty, one of the Queen's advisors hissed. You cannot. I am Queen. I can. The people need this peace. The people need many things. Leadership that negotiates from strength is one of them. Queen Teresa's eyes swept the room, settled on each advisor, each guard, each Pyrantine representative. We will have peace, but not through sacrificing our children. Find another way. Chancellor Vex's voice turned cold. There is no other way. This was agreed. Then you will learn the Colossi do not bind our young to treaties made without their voice. The Queen moved toward Verum, knelt before him. Her 4 hands reached out. Gentle. Uncertain. My son. I should have asked. Before negotiations. Before agreements. Before any of this. Her voice broke. I should have asked what you wanted. Verum stared at his mother. Tears tracked down his blue cheeks. I want to be a child. Then you will be. For as long as childhood lasts. She stood, turned to face Vex. The marriage clause is removed. Find alternative terms. That is unacceptable. Then we negotiate new acceptance. The Queen's voice hardened. The Colossi Federation offers trade concessions, technology exchanges, joint military operations on contested borders, everything except our children. You offer alternatives after months of agreement? I offer alternatives now that I understand what I was agreeing to. The Queen's eyes blazed. You will take this offer, Chancellor, or you will leave this station and explain to your Emperor why you rejected peace because you could not negotiate without a child bride clause. Vex's hands clenched. The Emperor will not be pleased. The Emperor will be pragmatic. He wants peace. He wants trade.
He wants stability on his borders.
The Queen stepped forward. What he does not want is the propaganda disaster of demanding a child marriage while claiming to be a civilized empire. Am I wrong? The Chancellor's expression shifted. Calculation replaced anger. You drive a difficult bargain, Your Majesty. I protect my people. All of them, even the smallest. She glanced at Verum, especially the smallest. I will need to consult with the Emperor. You have 2 hours. We will reconvene. The Pyrantines withdrew. Advisors followed, voices low and urgent. Guards remained at the doors. Within moments, the chamber held only Queen Teresa, Prince Verum, and Malik. The Queen looked at Malik for a long moment. You are either very brave or very foolish, human. Mostly foolish, Your Majesty. You risked your position, possibly your life. I made a judgment call. Your judgment nearly sparked an interstellar incident. No, Your Majesty. My judgment gave you 17 minutes to remember your son was more than a treaty term. Malik met her eyes. You made the choice. I just gave you time to make it. The Queen's expression softened, barely. You understand more than you should. I lost a sister once, to people who saw her as useful instead of young. Malik's voice went quiet. I didn't speak up then. I was too young. Too scared. Too sure that adults knew better. And now? Now I'm old enough to know that being useful doesn't mean being used. Varem moved away from Malik, slowly approached his mother. The Queen knelt again, and the prince stepped into her arms, 4 arms wrapped around him. Careful, protective. I am sorry, my son, she whispered. I forgot what I was protecting. I only remembered what I was preventing. You remembered, Mother, in time. Because of a human cargo worker who refused to yield. Because you needed someone to stand still while you thought. Varem pulled back, looked at Malik. He just stood still, that was all. But it was enough. The Queen stood. Composed herself, smoothed her robes. When she looked at Malik again, the vulnerability had been locked away behind royal protocols. Your actions today will be noted in my official record. You interfered with royal security. Malik nodded. I understand, Your Majesty. You will be censured. Officially, yes, Your Majesty, and you will be awarded the Colossi Civilian Honor for service to the royal family. Her voice carried formal weight. You will also receive a permanent position on this station as special liaison to Colossi cargo interests, with appropriate salary adjustments. Malik blinked. Your Majesty, that's not... You harbored my son. You spoke truth when silence would have been easier. The Queen's eyes held something warm beneath the ice. If you can do that as a cargo worker, imagine what you could accomplish as a liaison. I don't know anything about diplomacy. I learned. She moved toward the door, paused. Thank you, Malik Chan, for reminding me that strength includes knowing when to change course. I just gave him 17 minutes, Your Majesty. You gave him hope. That is more valuable. She placed one hand on Varem's shoulder. Come, my son. We have new treaties to negotiate. And this time I would value your perspective. Varem's eyes widened. My perspective? You are 8 cycles old. Not powerless. Your voice matters. It should have always mattered. She looked at her son with an expression Malik recognized. Regret. Determination. Love.
Will you attend the negotiations?
As myself?
As yourself.
As my son. As someone whose future we are building, not deciding. Varem glanced at Malik. Will you be there? I'm just cargo management. No, the Queen said quietly. You are the liaison. Your role includes attending relevant conferences. This qualifies.
Malik opened his mouth.
Closed it. Realized he'd just been outmaneuvered by a queen. Yes, Your Majesty. They moved toward the door. Varem walked beside his mother, not behind. The Queen's hand remained on his shoulder. Protective. Present. At the threshold, the Queen turned back. Tell me, human, do you truly believe 17 minutes changed everything? Malik picked up his datapad. Checked the logs. Smiled slightly. I believe 17 minutes gave everyone time to remember what mattered. The rest was already inside you. It just needed space to surface. Philosophical for a cargo worker. I've had a lot of time to think while counting crates, Your Majesty. Then I look forward to hearing your thoughts in future conferences. Perhaps you will provide perspective my advisors lack. I'll try not to argue with too many queens. Argue when necessary. That is the job. Then back at Malik. That has always been the job. I simply forgot. They left. The door closed. Malik stood alone in Conference Chamber 7, datapad in hand, heart still racing. His comm chirped. Station Commander. Urgent. Malik sighed. Answered. Chen, what in the 7 hells did you just do? I have 3 different departments demanding explanations. The Pyrantine delegation is filing complaints, and the Colossi Queen just authorized a complete position restructure with you at the center. What happened? I did an inventory check, sir. For 2 hours? Protocol requires thorough documentation. Chen, and apparently protocol now requires me to attend diplomatic conferences. I'll need a formal uniform. Silence on the other end, then laughter. Actual laughter. You magnificent idiot. You just rewrote your entire career by being stubborn about crate management. I prefer to think of it as dedication to proper procedure. Whatever you call it, it worked. The Queen's office sent formal commendation. You're untouchable now. Congratulations, Liaison. Thank you, sir. Don't thank me. I didn't do anything except watch a cargo worker become a legend. Now get to your new office. We have a station to run, and apparently you have treaties to observe. Malik ended the call, looked around the empty chamber. Thought about Veram's face when his mother knelt, when she apologized, when she asked his perspective. Thought about his sister. Young. Lost. Used up by people who saw value instead of vulnerability. He couldn't save her, couldn't change that past. But maybe he'd change someone else's future. Maybe 17 minutes mattered more than he'd thought. Malik gathered his datapad, headed for the door. Stopped when he noticed something on the conference table. A small object, blue and silver. Royal seal pressed into its surface. He picked it up, a commendation token. Physical, rare, valuable beyond measure in Colossi culture. And beneath it, written in careful script, "Thank you for standing still." It gave me time to remember how to move. T. Malik held the token for a long moment, then tucked it carefully into his pocket. Returned to logging inventory. Because treaties would be negotiated, policies would be changed, futures would be rewritten. But cargo still needed managing. And sometimes the most important work happened in the quiet moments, the in-between spaces, the 17 minutes when the world held its breath and let someone be young. He'd remember that. In conferences, in negotiations, in every moment when someone needed space to remember what mattered, he'd stand still and let them think, because sometimes that was exactly the job.